Hello, the 2025 calendar class. It just had the class skills released on the Zynos, so I haven't read them yet. Let's go through them. Let's see what the new class is going to be like. Very excited for this. Okay, we got the post from Alina. It's called Phantom Chronomancer, which is a sick name for the class. It will be available through the $20, or you can buy more expensive versions, collector's edition. I think there's even a more expensive collector's edition than this for like 50 bucks. That has even more stuff on it on the Hero Mart page. Not sure why it's not here, but yeah. So there's different versions, but with the $20 version, you're gonna get the calendar class, or you can buy it the later half of 2025 for hero points or adventure coins in game. If you don't want to order off Hero Mart, which is understandable. Some people live pretty far away and stuff like that. So this year's calendar class combines time and depth to create a dodge-based calendar class that can dish out large amounts of damage. So that's the description they're giving for the class. So a dodge-based counter class, to my memory, that hasn't existed before, so that's interesting. Recommended enhancement: Wizard. When a Chronomancer refuses to die a natural death, a Phantom Chronomancer pays them a visit, carrying out their execution by draining them of their temporal powers. As a power caster stat model, mana regen, strikes an enemy in combat more effective on crits, are struck by an enemy in combat. So yeah, decent. Combat skills. Clock is ticking. Alright, so let's go through the first skill. Alright, so the first one is the auto attack. This is doing 40% physical damage at a medium range. That's cool. On a 1.8 second cooldown, max target 1. Swing your scythe at your opponent. Deals unavoidable damage. Okay. While applying no escape from death, reducing their dodge by 30, output damage by 20. Oh, okay. And crit chance by 15 for 20 seconds. Damage dealt is based on number of seconds to midnight stacks you have. Okay. So your auto attack is scaling damage off stacks. An auto attack, but with a scythe. I want to see the animation for this. That sounds cool. I might actually buy this class. Actually, I like the theming of this with the scythe and everything. That's I can't say like the skill art itself or the class art itself. Yeah, but the animations are probably gonna be sick with the scythe and everything. I mean, it's decent. It's decent class art, but class art for most classes isn't that great. All right, so Reaping Rift, the next skill here. This is gonna be a one target, 40% magic damage, medium range, mana cost 4, 3-second cooldown. So it's a very low cooldown for that skill. Harvest your opponent's time to use against them. Applies Temporal Rift for 10 seconds, which stacks to 4, and is used by the other abilities. Okay. If Death Sentence is active, it's consumed to apply Guillotine, reducing your opponent's physical and magical resistance by 45% for 12 seconds. Damn, that's a lot of damage resist reduction. The calendar class special Temporal Rift. Stack this up, you'll be doing lots of damage in no time. This skill also has the added effect of debuffing your target's resistance stats. Alright, so very cool. It's on a 3 seconds cooldown too, so the clock strikes at midnight. So next skill here. This one is also one target, so it seems like a very one target dodge class. 55% magical damage, long range, that's good. 10 mana cost, not too bad. Also a 3-second cooldown. Okay. Begin the countdown to your opponent's demise. Applies seconds to midnight for 12 seconds. So seconds to midnight was the one that your auto attack scaled off of, right? Based on number of seconds to midnight stacks. Yeah, so that's when your auto attack scales off to. Apply seconds to midnight for 12 seconds, increasing the damage for each successful hit of the skill up to 4 times. If Death Sentence is active, it's consumed to apply Impalement, increasing your outgoing damage by 20% for 12 seconds. I don't know, 20% sounds kind of low, but anyway, it's still probably decent. A fairly straightforward skill. The more you use it, the more damage it deals to contribute to your Rift Collapse skill. Death Sentence is up, you'll also receive a nice boost to your damage output. Okay, next skill, Final Hours. So you're rank 3. This is one target as well, 290% magic. That's a lot more magic. Long range, nice. 45 mana cost, that's pretty high. And then that's probably why the other ones are lower mana cost. 3-second cooldown. An unavoidable attack that signals the end for your opponent. If you don't have Temporal Rift, you enshroud your presence, increasing your dodge by 40% while healing you over time for 10 seconds. If you have 4 stacks, very specific on the amount of stacks there, of seconds to midnight, Applies Death Sentence, increasing your crit chance by 30% for 3 seconds. Okay. A very expensive skill, mana cost wise, but arguably the most important one. Firstly, using this skill while you don't have Temporal Rift grants you 40% dodge, which is enough to max out dodge when paired with certain enhancement traits. Secondly, when you have 4 stacks of Second Midnight and use the skill, you get the Death Sentence aura, which can either be used to increase the likelihood of Rift Collapse skill critting, or can be consumed with Reaping Rift to apply Guillotine, severely reducing your target's resistances, and allowing you to do more damage, and allowing for more damage to be done by you and your teammates. If I could read, if you have enough mana to spare, you can use this skill again after applying Guillotine to benefit from both of those effects at the same time. Okay, I actually didn't think about that. Nice. Jesus. Alright, so last skill. One target, 16%. 16%, that seems very low. Long distance, 0 mana cost on a 12-second cooldown. Carry out your opponent's execution, dealing damage based on the amount you've dealt in the last 10 seconds. Okay, so very, very counter class skill there. With Temporal Rift was active. Damage scales with each stack of Temporal Rift and consumes those stacks. Remove Second to Midnight and Death Sentence. Last but not least, the Rift Collapse skill. The more damage you deal while under the effect of Temporal Rift, the more damage this skill does. When you use this skill, it consumes your Temporal Rift and Second Midnight stacks, so if you want to balance your dodge chance upkeep with your damage output, you might want to use the skill sooner than later. Okay, this actually, wait, let's go to the passives now, get my conclusion on what I think about it. Read through here. So, Sharpened Scythe, this is a hit and crit chance increased by 10%, and then you have this one, a Swift Death, haste and dodge by 20%. Okay. And then outgoing magic damage by 25 on the rank 10. Very nice. Okay, let's read their conclusion, then I'll give my conclusion, my thoughts on this after reading through this. It's my first time reading through, so. Phantom Chronomancer has a fairly straightforward playstyle. I like that. That involves balancing your dodge upkeep with your damage output. When you max out Temporal Rift and Seconds to Midnight stacks, you can use Time of Death out the door to deal a fair amount of damage and refresh your dodge. They use the term fair amount of damage there. I don't like that. And refresh your dodge reliably. And you can build your Time of Death damage even higher by applying your Guillotine and impaling auras first, but at a severe cost of mana while also risking your dodge upkeep. I don't like that phrasing. Alright, like reading like, but at severe cost of mana will upkeep. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, due to high mana cost on Phantom Chronomancer, we highly recommend pairing this class with mana sustain based enhancements such as Mana Vamp, Exum, or Elysium. Alright, so they give you a little bit of enhancement recommendations at the bottom there. Probably definitely want to, especially with the wording here, you definitely want to take their advice on that, I'd imagine, with this class. So you're very mana starved if you're not using the proper enhancements, it would seem. So my thoughts on this. It seems like, just like the class guy said, it seems pretty straightforward, and I like that. The stacking, I like the damage resistance, the damage reduction skills. Those are very nice, gonna be useful for boss fights. Like I said, beginning skill art, not that great. I mentioned the animations, like based on what they're called and the mentions of Scythe and stuff. The animations for this are probably gonna be very clean, I imagine. And yeah, going through this, it looks like it would probably be pretty fun to have a dodge-based counter class. Seems like it would be a good idea. The fact that the auto attack on the class is unavoidable is very good. Like very, very good. 1.8 second unavoidable. That also scales damage based on your stacks there as well. So yeah, sounds really cool. It sounds like it might be useful. Sometimes for a lot of boss fights and stuff, dodge is like borderline worthless. Like you might as well not even have it as a stat on your class for a lot of boss fights. So that's kind of worrying. But other than that, for every situation where you could use a dodge-based class, it's probably going to be a very, very viable choice. So yeah, looking forward to this. Will I buy it? I might. I'll see. I don't know. I didn't buy the last one. People tend to like the last one, so maybe I'll get this one. We'll see. I wasn't really enjoying the counter classes there for a while, but yeah, people seem to like the last one, so maybe I'll get this one. This one actually seems kind of cool. I kind of do like the idea. and it probably does have clean animations. So they probably would have shown the animations if they had them ready to go, but they probably don't yet. So hopefully they look good. Hopefully they look good. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thought I'd make a little video here going over class skills like I usually do for these. Let me know your thoughts down below. Love to read them. If you notice anything with the class that sounds cool that I didn't recognize, leave that down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out the other videos on my channel. Peace.